Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and I'm going to be reading your tea leaves today. Let's see. Oh, this is a reading for Aries. If that is your solar, lunar, or ascendant / rising placement, this reading is for you. And if you are not any of those, if you're not an Aries in any of those positions, this might also be a message for you if you happen to click on this message or this video and or autoplayed or whatever it is that got you here. Just stay and listen. It might resonate with you. I just read with the intent for it to be for Aries, but that doesn't mean it's always just for Aries. Okay, so we're going to turn the cup 3 times counterclockwise. I'm going to tap it 3 times and then we'll lift it and see what the tea leaves have for us. Okay. Now, if this is your first time, thank you for clicking on the video, or if you are returning, thank you for coming back. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing, let me know how you're doing, and let me know if these messages have been resonating with you. Okay. Let's see here. Well, first of all, I see a really big heart, okay? It basically is this entire cup, right? Or bowl. I guess it's technically a bowl, but this is big. So this is definitely a matter of some kind of love. Is this romantic love? Is it family related? Is it a passion? Or something more spiritual. I don't know yet, but we'll take a look. I do see it's a matter of the heart though. And usually that means that it is something probably romantic. Okay. Now, the first thing that really besides that heart is, really sticking out to me is this figure here. And this one looks like it is the head of an ibis, and the body here, it looks like it's kind of in a seated posture probably. It's facing to the right, so that would be for the future. Now the ibis is a sacred bird, and it is related to the Egyptian god Thoth, which is really funny because the last reading I just did, there was a Thoth symbol, but it was in the baboon form. So this one, the symbol of Thoth, or the attributes of Thoth, are usually like mathematics, sacred texts, a record keeper, and Thoth is a psychopomp as well, which is a deity or entity that helps people cross over into death, into the lands beyond life. Okay, so I think in this context though, it's more towards the middle. I think that this definitely is showing me basically that you are probably a person that has a more scientific mind. I think that you're probably interested in the sciences. I think, something, it could be mathematics, science, even esoteric, the sacred arts, something along that line. But you're a learned person. You're probably somewhat scholarly, well-spoken, thoughtful, and probably not easily taken by your emotions. Okay, so I think I think that's it. This one definitely is kind of identifying some of your characteristics. Now I kind of like to turn just to see if I can see anything else in that formation that would be helpful. This is interesting. It's kind of like a seated. It almost kind of reminds me of there's a motif among fertility deities that are kind of in this like seated, hunched over kind of posture like that. So I wonder if you are not interested in having a child somewhat, in the near future, if it's something that is important to you. I think that maybe if you don't have a partner already, this is something that is going to be important to you in finding a partner. If you do have a partner, I think this is something that is, part of how you connect with one another. If you already have a child together, I think that it's one of the more important things in your relationship, which obviously it would be. When you have a kid, it becomes, especially when they're young, it becomes kind of the center of your universe, right? And, probably the most important part of your relationship. So that would make sense. Now I'm seeing up here, it looks like a T. So I think that, I just kind of moved that. Let me move it back. It looks like somebody with a T name or somebody that works in a career field that would be T, or interests that in something that starts with a T. It could be like teaching, whenever I do these, I can't think of examples. Teaching, maybe or it's a defining quality. Okay. So maybe they are, something that starts with a T, tall or treacherous or a treat, something like that. And this is kind of up in this higher space. So I think this is, not just in the physical sense, but I think that you really connect with this person on a higher realm. This could be like a soulmate, a twin flame, which I recently learned a soulmate and a twin flame are not the same thing. My husband was telling me about that and explaining to me the difference. So, it could be somebody that, let's see, what else? Soulmate, twin flame, life partner, somebody, you might have a child with, like we talked about just a second ago. Somebody that is very important and is going to be in your life one way or another for a long time. Okay. And let's see. This has kind of been interesting. This is a little... Now, this one right here is sticking out to me as somebody who is sweeping. And it almost looks like they're holding up the roof of this kind of cluttery building here. So I think that it makes me feel like you are more of maybe the domestic half of this partnership, if you are in a partnership, or in a partnership that will be happening in the future. Ideally everything would be 50-50, right? In life, especially when it comes to household tasks. But sometimes, you know, some people are more gifted in, you know, the culinary arts, or, you know, they enjoy their jobs more outside of the house or whatever. And sometimes people are just a little more of the domestic partner. And that's okay. But it seems like you are really keeping this household together. Okay. And it doesn't seem like it's a negative. I think that you probably take pride in your ability to keep a house together. And, you know, that could be, let's see. Let's move this way and see if we see anything else. Yeah, I think that's really like a source of... And now when I move it this way, I see this figure kind of sitting here, and I kind of see the broom again. I wonder if you're not taking care of somebody in your family that's elderly, or is unable to kind of take care of themselves. So I wonder if maybe the situation seems to be, I wonder if you're trying to start a family, but you also have these extra responsibilities of, you know, of maybe a parent or grandparent or somebody else that you're taking care of, which I think maybe it seems like that might be possibly kind of a source of a little stress for you. I wonder if maybe you are worried. Let's see. Yeah, it seems to me that I feel like you are worried about the timing of starting your family or adding to your already existing family. It seems like recently you've had to take on more responsibility of taking care of somebody outside of your immediate family unit. So maybe somebody moved into your household, a parent, or, you know, somebody that seems older, I think. And I think it almost looks like we have an E here. So I think the T has to do with your partner. This E over here, I think, has to do with somebody that you're taking care of. So that could be, again, their name, a career, a defining job or career field they were in, or some kind of descriptive word. But I see a strong relation to an E. And now I think that you are just worried about how are you going to go forward? How are you going to be able to juggle everything? And even I think that you have not really talked to your partner, or it could be that you're worried about finding somebody who would be willing to have this family with you while you have all these other responsibilities. And I think that's really the big thing that's on your heart. And I think that maybe is the thing that is causing quite a bit of stress. I think that it seems like you are probably really worn out as well. And I think that, I think the biggest thing that it's coming down to, though, is it seems like that there is an aspect of it's a miscommunication going on. I think that if you were to kind of just slow it down a little bit and kind of come up with even just like maybe just next 6 months of your life, what does your life plan kind of look like? I think if you did something like that, and you kind of even did like maybe a pros and cons kind of a list, and you know, just different scenarios about how things might, you know, play out, and what kinds of you know, backup plans that you have. I think if you did this, kind of went through it, processed it, and then just kind of had some, key points you want to talk to your partner about, I think that it would go over so much more smoothly. I think this is really, all this anxiety could be avoided. I mean, listen, you are taking care of people, you're running a household, you're likely working, and, just doing all the things that we have to do, a million things every single day, right? And that in itself is stressful, but I think that you're also carrying a lot of this mental and emotional stress that's a little bit unnecessary. I think with just some basic planning and just kind of problem shooting, and then, taking just taking a couple of moments, just beats to kind of, gather yourself, and then going into a conversation with your partner, or with yourself, if like we had talked about, if you don't have a partner yet and you're out dating, and just finding the way that you want to represent yourself, the things that are important to you, prioritize, be very honest and clear about what is important to you, how willing you are to, bend on some things. And, especially if having a family and a child or another child is very important and high on that priority list, you have to be real and honest about that. And I think that you're going to be very surprised about the outcome. I don't think it's going to be as dire as I think that you maybe have thought it might be in your head. I think that, the situation has felt a little, and there's a little hair on there. So cat hairs everywhere in this house. Okay. Let's look. I think that it looks to me like, I think that, once, I really do believe, I get a very strong feeling that once you figure out how you're going to approach your needs here, you're going to be able to figure out how to get what you want. Okay? And I think that you're probably, from what I'm seeing in these symbols, you're a logical person. I don't think you're, I think you're emotional, but you're not overly emotional. I think you're reasonable. I think that if things don't all go exactly how you want them to, you're going to make it work for you. Okay? And I see a lot of happiness coming. I don't think you're an unhappy person now. I think that probably you're a little bit of a tired and stressed out person. But I think these are all things that are manageable. And I think that you're probably very pragmatic and, as we said, practical. And, I think a lot of this just lies in you really putting in the effort to problem solve, plan, and, communicate. Be a little vulnerable. Be honest and clear about what you want. And that's so important. I think finding the confidence to communicate, what is important to you. And in doing that, I think that it's all going to come together for you. And in life, things, it doesn't always look exactly how we imagine it to, but it will. I think that you're the type of person that can really manifest what you want. Okay? And you can find the good in what you receive. I think that's that's maybe the biggest key to life is being in grace accepting what the universe gives you and finding the joy in that, the good in that, the positive. And I think that, you know, this is going to be something. I think that I just really get the feeling that you want to have a family, you know, and that's not something that happens overnight. And I know that you know that. And I see that, you know, you've already started the beginning stages. I think you probably, you know, already have a close-knit family as far as, you know, your origin family and possibly a partner already, maybe even one child. But I think that you want to add on to that, or you want to have that first child. And I think that, you know, that's something that is going to be obtainable for you. Okay. And so I think that is our message, Aries. And I thank you so much for spending your time with me. I just am always so honored to bring these messages to you. I love hearing from you. Please leave a comment. Go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed it, if it resonated with you. Go ahead and subscribe. Check out some other videos. You can find Ula Tea Leaf Readings on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, Ula of the Tea. If you're interested in a private reading, you can go to the description of this video, and there's an email. You can message me and we will, you know, get that lined up. So thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, evening, whatever time it is for you where you're at. And again, this is Ula Tea Leaf Readings, and my name is Lenore.